Boy, after seeing that and now seeing this, we're all reminded that we definitely need to get out a little bit more. And we're gonna do just that. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home and really everywhere we go on a budget. Welcome to our retro road trip. After we hit up the drugstore, what say you and I take a little trip to the farm with Cheryl Blossom? Then, we'll stop at Bachelor Mansion in California to pay a quick visit to Matt James, this season's current bachelor who really wished that he hasn't been all along. Am I right? Then, we'll pay a quick visit to Rosewood to meet up with Aria Montgomery, who apparently has more treats for us from last year's Cosmo. That's right, it's gonna be quite a retro road trip, with none other than Cosmopolitan Magazine by our sides the whole way through. You know what this means, right? Oh yeah! You thought, just as I thought, that we were gonna do no Bachelor content this year? Well, thanks to one Sutton host's most recent, most dramatic scandal ever, I guess I'm probably better off doing no Bachelor content this year. But, just like those cystic monsters that third on our faces for 6 weeks only to leave us with a permanent scar at the end, you can't escape The Bachelor. And you can't escape Pretty Little Liars for that matter. By the way, those cystic monsters, that phrase, those are Cosmopolitan's words, not mine. But they really do sum up this acne issue, the first ever acne issue, which I paid full price for after getting this from Amazon Books. Getting this was a whole day debacle. I'll save that story for another day. But it cost me $4.99. And it's here to save our skin. Yes, this is a carryover from Saturday's video where I reviewed the Pimple Peach game endorsed by Dr. Pimple Popper. Dr. Sandra Lee. I'll get you, Doc! Anyway, it's also going to be an updated follow-up to last year's Cosmopolitan issue, the one on the right, with Lucy Hale on the cover. Apparently we got more photos of Lucy, more treats for the eyes for us to feast on. Before we get to Lucy, let's give fellow YouTuber Madelaine Petsch her fair due. By the way, towards the end, we're going to bring this full circle, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned. There's a lot to cover in this edition of Roses and Rosewood. So let's not waste another second. We're going to start off with a little amuse-bouche, if you will. A little teaser to Madelaine's spread, which you'll find on page 80. Madelaine Petsch has a secret, and it's relatable as hell. Ooh, somebody better call Robin McGraw. You know, host of the I Got a Secret podcast, Dr. Phil's wife, America's girlfriend. It's no great secret that Madelaine loves animals. Hello, she has a dog named Olive, and she talks a great deal about Olive in her article. She actually has many secrets, and are all quite relatable as hell depending on which Riverdale stan or non-superfan you talk to. We'll get to her on page 80 a little bit later, but there's a lot to talk about, as I said, in this article of Cosmo. We're going to catch you up on some recent pop culture events, a sudden divorce of one power couple that's never been a power couple from the very beginning, and as I said, a sudden reality dating show host that really needs to do a lot of soul searching. And I guess that is where we're going to start off. After we take this quiz on which reality show we would truly thrive on, an important question for our time. Write this radio 15 minutes of fame/shame. This is a multi-choice questionnaire. 5 questions. It's time to update your vision board. What are you manifesting? Finding my soulmate and then traveling the world together. Which we really don't have time for right now. You're saving up for something less. Which side hustle do you take on to earn extra cash? Wanting the social accounts of a local business. Number 3. What's your go-to weakness that's secretly a straight answer in a job interview? Or job interview, as the slang indicates. Why do we have to turn every single word of the Oxford English Dictionary under the sun into urban millennial slang? That's just appalling. Sometimes I take on more than I have time for and stretch myself too thin. That's definitely myself. Now, put on your brutally honest self-awareness how to answer this. What's actually your biggest flaw? getting intense FOMO, fear of missing out, and have been known to get a little extra. A little extra, a little. Yeah, that, with insecurity stripes. Finally, which petty regret are you positive will still haunt you years from now? The time I was 43 weeks deep in my ex's Instagram grid and accidentally double tapped. You see a pattern here? I'm answering all A's. And if I get mostly all A's, you know where I wind up at? Bachelor Mansion. You long for, as Ben Higgins so eloquently coined it, your person. So eloquent and so planned. So you're probably here for the right reasons. You might also get wine drunk and ugly cry on camera, but all's fair in love and reality TV wars. Right? The acne issue here, all sections in this acne issue deal with a myriad of variety of topics for dealing with and coping with and ultimately defeating these God-given cretins of the skin. From what drugstore purchases to be on the lookout for, to describing certain types of breakouts. And it just falls sort of what celebs deal with breakouts of their own, and whether they have done so in their young adult lives. One person who is of no help in this matter is Lily Reinhardt, believe it or not. Yep, what Lily Reinhardt buys at the drugstore. This is an actual receipt. The Riverdale star, who is literally a total Betty, drops her favorite, which means your favorite, affordable picks. Look at you becoming a beauty influencer. Stay away. On this mock receipt, or actual receipt, we have a couple of CoverGirl products, Chic nail tips, plus we have Clean and Clear and Dr. Teal's. Tweezerian. There you go. Stupid desk lamp. Which all totals $71.50. Each and every item is highlighted in a little bubble here with a brief description of how the product works. So, foundation, a brow pencil, a razor, and of course, a picture of Lily Reinhardt looking like, if you'll pardon the term, a total Betty. Even though I don't watch Riverdale. I admit, I'm going to plan to in the future, but only if I buy a DVD on the thrift store. I came awfully close, but season 2 of Riverdale didn't have a DVD. It was missing a disc, so. Anyway, a nail serum, tweezers, blotting sheets, and bath salts. Again, falling short of acne skincare medication. Oh, come on, Lily. We're in a facial crisis! Never mind. Let's move on, shall we? Oh! I forgot to show you. There's one other Riverdale babe in here. I forgot to show her. But if we're gonna talk about Madelaine, and if we're gonna talk about Lily, if we're gonna talk about, Cheryl and Betty, you know who we gotta bring up next? I hope one day that Josie Ashley Murray can make Cosmo's cover for a month in the future. But I'm actually talking about, yes, Veronica Lodge, the smoking Camila Mendez. Once again for secret aluminum-free deodorant. Helps eliminate odor. Oh yeah. In fact, my brother said she's a smoke show, commenting several times on my particular post about Camila advertising for Secret. You know that commercial about Camila for Secret that airs on basic cable? Yeah, I always stop and watch with a smile. I don't know why, but I just have the hots for Camila. I better get rid of them soon. Or I should set my brother up on a date with her. You hear that, Adrian? I'm gonna look out for ya. You know what he said? Pizza and seize the toppings. Hound dog. Go get her, boy, and make me proud. Just don't embarrass the Riverdale fandom. Alright, continuing on. Lust. Cause Cosmopolitan, as I said time and time again, the America's mutual fornication fuss. Just a list of weird things that make you horny. 10 of them. Although, one is chief among them all, in my opinion. Which of that is? that would be number 9. The first 5 minutes of any Bachelor episode from that season. And now in hindsight, the first 5 minutes of any episode from that season of The Bachelor will probably be the first 5 minutes that will make you the most angry or upset. Thanks a lot, Chris Harrison and Rachel Kirkconnell. I want to show you one example from the acne issue, which I think is the most relatable of all. How skincare plays a vital role in your dating, by way of Cosmopolitan's Skincare and Dating Survey. Look at the stats. 88% of you say that the status of your skin affects your confidence on a date. 16% of you have canceled a date because your aunt's cat just died of a breakout. Yeah, like that excuse is gonna work. If you had to choose, which would make you feel more confident with a new beau? This pie chart here on the right shows that 82% say a natural look gives off all of the dewy vibes. 18% say that a full beat would make them feel quite nice. My contouring skills make me look glam as hell. How important is your partner's skincare routine to you? 51% say as long as it's not a 3-in-1 product, we're good. 8% say skincare routine, well, that's one of their many love languages. Not that Dr. Gary Newman or whoever else has invented the love languages. Maybe it's somebody's author's name, whose last name is Chapman. I don't really remember. 41% say that they really do not care. By the way, real-life stories from Cosmopolitan readers on how skincare plays a vital role in their dating lives, right here on the right. No such thing as too many details, as Cosmo says. On a scale of 1 to I'm not going, this is a skincare and dating survey that tells you how your skin sits can affect your love life. Something to keep in mind. I know I'll be keeping this in mind because I just recently activated a Facebook dating profile. Hey, better late than never, right? And now, for the pièce de résistance, the main event of this whole shebang, Madelaine Petsch. Sorry, Sal. Let's turn this down just a little bit here. Madelaine Petsch needs to get out more. By the way, I really find it difficult to read these descriptive snakes, as I'll call them. Kind of like, you know how on Zoom, those graphics that detail the Zoomers who sent in their ideas to be used on the air, you know, those snakes. These are snakes that are much more wilder and much more difficult to read. The 26-year-old star of the still addictive, still completely, sorry to fill in the blank for you here, and the camera should apologize for blowing up on me, completely fucking unhinged soapy teen drama Riverdale, knows she could use some of this, the great outdoors energy. She's working on it. And that's not the only thing she's working on. This is Jennifer G. Sullivan's article with photographs by Eric Ray Davison. And of course, Cassie Anderson, styling Madelaine to the nines. Madelaine Petsch has the day off. What does she do? Well, she spends it on the farm talking to Cosmo. And a fairly sizable spread, both text and photo-wise. A good amount of photos here. If you're a Madelaine Petsch stan, you'll be delighted with this one, I promise you. Let me neatly summarize this. Madelaine Petsch getting outside, embracing the great outdoors with all sorts of farm animals. And this article of Cosmo really is a visual metaphor for her coming out of her skin, as this article will tell you about in great detail. So let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the cover makes 6, and the amuse boost in the table of contents makes 7. 7 photographs of the ravishing Riverdale redhead. Now, let's take a trip to Woolsford, Pennsylvania for the Woolsford portion of our program. That's right, we're revisiting last year's March's Cosmo cover and issue with Lucy Hale. She started breaking rules a long time ago, you just weren't paying attention. Oh, I was paying attention. Beginning at 2017, when I confessed my love for Pretty Little Lies, I started paying attention a hell of a lot more. As you know, last year I picked this up retail from the Barnes & Noble at Clifton Commons. Oh, but this Oh. Well done, Mayor. This is a reminder on why you should never ever swipe left, especially when Lucy Hale is on your Tinder or whatever dating profile as a suggestion to hit up and hook up with. Self-care isn't selfish enough. Well, I'll take that with a grain of salt when this photo and this little phrase from the goose is sitting next to an Olay ad for Olay Regenerous Micro Sculpting Cream. You want another reason why you should never swipe left on Lucy? And that goes for anybody. If you've been blessed enough, but by the grace of God, for Lucy Hale, the real one and only Karen Lucille Hale, to be your suggested match. That's another reason why. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 9 photographs of Lucy Hale. I don't know about you, but my days as a non-Haler will soon be numbered. I've already rated this, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this the benefit of no doubt whatsoever in saying that this is definitely one update of Cosmo I've been waiting for! 5 out of 5 claps. Madelaine Petsch, you get 4.5 out of 5. For a total of 9.5 out of 10. Last year's issue, this year's issue. It's only fitting that we kick off the 1st of March reviewing Madelaine Petsch for March's Cosmo cover. And it's also quite fitting that we bring this all full circle. Look at this. I'll link this in the description below as well. I've already reviewed LILI and CAMILA'S Cosmo cover. It's a Riverdale Hottie family reunion. How about that? Some pimples are a little too hard to get rid of in society. But in 2021, we're all going to do our very best to deal with them, to cope with them, and ultimately, if need be, to defeat them and do away with them. Because, hey, some pimples make you look not that particularly ravishing, and some just make you feel not that particularly ravishing for induction into the history books. Which is why I thank goodness that Cosmopolitan is here to save the day for both parties, Riverdale and for the Alliance. Oh, and The Bachelor for that matter as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. And Bachelor Nation, don't forget to stop and smell the roses of all colors. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. And remember, you can keep a secret if one of them is dead.